reading for me, as well as storytelling, is a powerful tool because we are playing with imagination of the majority of, right? So nowadays, pupils demand lots of interactive activities like the ones that we are having right here, and I think we can also implement reading through these type of new technologies, right? For speaking about reading, I think that there is something that is pretty important to know, which is that we gotta require oral interaction before reading. So if they are not able to speak or to pronounce properly, we will not be able to have, a good reading later on. Well, the majority of the people consider that Jolly Phonics, and it's true, is a theory or a method that is used only for L1, for native speakers, and it's true. But what is true also is that it works properly, and we gotta adapt the method in favor of our L2 students. So if we transform it, we will take advantage of it. Now I would like to tell you, how I consider we learn, new vocabulary. And as I told you, it's the opposite as we were doing here in Spain. Well, what I wanted to say is that if we learn how to speak, and later on we learn how to write down, we will solve our first problem, which is communication, oral communication, oral interaction, and have conversations with people. Because nobody goes, for example, to London and start writing down in a paper, okay? People usually speak. So this is the idea. We are going to provide with the speaking and later on with the writing. So summarizing, a meaningful vocabulary is based on an image and a sound. Once it is mastered, I introduce the gesture, image, sound, and gesture. That sometimes, if the gesture is not complicated, can be introduced at the same time. Then we introduce the sound card, which is the word, the image number 2 that I told you. Then the word card, and finally the sentence card. And why I told you all this? I told you all this because if we don't work on this, and master, they don't master the vocabulary, we will not be able to start reading, right? I see that some of you are using, Jolly Phonics in your schools, and to be honest with you, it works, but it compulsory need adaptation. And do you know why? It's because it's made for L1 students. These L1 students, native speakers, of course, they have the help of their parents, and they can work hard at home too, but you don't have that help. So from my point of view, you got to transform it into an L2 method. Something that I would like to drill, okay, which is that. How do you say in English? Please don't speak or don't accept Spanish. We are not accepting Spanish in our school from the really beginning, and the English is getting better year by year. And now, another thing that is important to take into consideration is the portfolio. The portfolio, or the passport of the languages, is something that it was, for example, in our schools, taking that because people didn't know how to use it. What I use from these passports are the questions that are inside, okay? The questions are divided into skills. So you will be able to go directly to the questions that appear here, which is like a brief passport, in which reading is here, and depending on the level, you can make the question.